Welcome to the Toyota eSports Challenge. My name is Tickle. I'm joined by G-Max over here, and we are in day 3 of the grand finals. We got to see our Xbox drivers race off. We got to see our PC races, but tonight we get to see our PlayStation drivers face off. And it's going to be pretty exciting, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, for the last 4 weeks, they've been fighting it out and trying to get themselves qualified to be here. And I mean, that's all you had to do, qualify one of the 4 weeks that we've been out here. And for these guys now, it's all or nothing, you know, 15,000 Rand on the line for them to walk away with.
That's a lot of money to race.
Money.
So they're going to race 2 tracks tonight. Those 2 times are going to be combined. The fastest time walks away with that cash. Of course, 60,000 Rand up for grabs over these 4 days. Halfway through the competition, it's gonna be thrilling, I think. And this particular lineup is very, very stacked, because we've actually got the runner-up to the first Toyota eSports Challenge. He was our FIFA runner-up, Riasat. He's racing. Didn't even know that he was a rally racer, but there you go, playing WRC9. And then we've also got Zero to Turbo, very, very popular motoring journalist. He qualified as well, and of course each week we had our Toyota Gazoo rally races driving, we had our professional sim racers and some celebrities, but these guys that you're gonna watch, they had to submit their fastest times, and each week the fastest time qualified for this stage. So Zero to Turbo in the mix as well. And Berries, I think, is quite a popular name, G-Max?
Yeah, Berry's someone that I'm familiar with from the sim racing community. I mean, we always meet up for whatever reason in a Discord somewhere, and yeah, I expected to see him competing. I felt like I would like to see him getting up into the finals, and so good to see his name up there.
So there you go. G-Max knows Berries. He's fast. He does a lot of sim racing. Riasat's got that big match temperament from competing in FIFA. Zero to Turbo, the experience. He's actually been able to meet real racing drivers as well. And then we've got that dark horse. He's coming in as well. Ethan, I think he has a YouTube channel. So, I mean, we're getting notifications. They're ready to go. And I think we need to go to that first track.
I think we do.
2 tracks, that's what they've got to race on. So the first one is in Finland. It's much longer, it's quite big, so they can go really, really fast. Only a couple of turns at the start and finish. The second one's in Kenya, and we'll see that in a bit, but here we go. Starting in Finland, 3, 2, 1, and they're off. Beginning straight away, and you can see how it's like the starts. Everyone's jumping around, trying to get onto that track. Gravel the whole way as well, so you can really open your cars up.
Absolutely, and a good start here to the grand finals for these guys. Of course, 2 tracks to go to, and the first one being Finland, nice and open, like you mentioned. Look at this, they can start to wind those engines up. 6th gear already as they wind up down through the first sector. And of course, any sort of loss of control of this car then costs you time. So they're trying to fight out for the best possible times while still keeping the car on the track. And you can see different techniques being sort of brought out here. Ryan, right up the front here, Berries, takes a big jump, almost loses the back end of that.
So you see Berries and Michael, Zero to Turbo, they're on sim rigs, and Riasat and Ethan. Oh, as we say that, Michael, he's going to get time penalties for that. He's got to remember now at the end, that time is going to be added on. Riasat and Ethan are on controllers though. Is there a difference between these 2 setups?
Yeah, I think the sim racing rigs, you know, for a lot of people give them a little bit more control of the car because of the way that you can kind of react to how it's kicking back. But I mean, if you practice it out, it doesn't really matter what you race on. I've seen very quick controller drivers setting times, and you know, these guys have all competed to get here, so you know, it could be anyone's game. One small mistake, I mean, we've already seen Michael make one. If Ryan slips up along the way, it could be any of those guys' game to still win.
You can see there though, Berries, Ryan, he is going so far ahead of the competition. Michael having a lot of these, there we go. He saved it. He saved it. Lots of these moments. We saw that roll earlier, and then you see the slide out. That's all stuff that's going to affect him later on, but he is super fast the rest of the time.
He is, and I think he's been putting some time in. Looks very comfortable in his rig. Both him and Ryan going a little bit toe-to-toe. But, you know, when you look at the time, it's a big time gap, and that's probably more down to the fact that he had that big reset, 10 seconds added onto that. So it'd maybe be a 5-second gap, if that, you know, excluding the time that he went off the track before resetting. So, you know, Michael could still be in this coming into track 2 as well, so he needs to get a good finish here because he's still got to add up both of their times.
Now you can see Riasat and Ethan at the back of the pack. They're fighting it out together quite close, but really the story here is Ryan, very Berries. He is flawless. Look at this. He is going so fast, clean. He's got some really good sharp lines as well. I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch him as he moves into this final part of the race. He looks like he's been practicing this. You mentioned he has that sim racing experience. Look how beautifully he does these turns. Just complete control of the car.
Yeah, it is actually quite masterful to watch, and Ryan doing a good job at putting my name out there for recommending him. It's good to see him having a good stage though. I mean, he needed this. You can see on the left side as we switch to his POV, it's all green stages. He's led the entire way and hasn't had a mistake. Michael struggling out the back there. That's again going to cost him in that time. And when you're having it all at the end, it's not what you want.
So you can see with Michael, he loses the back end of that car every so often, loses a little bit of control, slides it out, and of course the moment you're off the track, as I say that though, there we go. Convincing Berries. He takes that, no doubt there. That's a huge gap, and of course now, short amounts of time to finish. I think Michael's going to be able to do it, 0 to turbo. I think he might still be able to put foot and get through the finish, but I don't know about the other two, Riyasat and Ethan. Are they actually going to be able to make it to the finish line in time?
Michael certainly will here with 10 seconds as he sees the checkered flag or the little timing dots. He will cross the line, but Riyasat and Ethan, it looks like DNFs will come out for them. They've still got quite a margin of that final stage to go. So a big hard stage coming out, and of course Berries with a killer time up there, 3:15, takes the win.
So Berries is going to be really happy with that. Michael's still in contention. Here's the problem with the two drivers at the end that didn't qualify. Of course, the finals based on your two tracks. They've got to now hope that the other two don't finish the next race.
It's a horrible thing to sometimes have to say, but as a competitive person, you are thinking that and you're hoping that maybe this is where they're going to get caught out. So having 2 rounds to go into it, that's something that's a little bit of a saving grace if you haven't had a great first round. But if you have had a good first round, it's also a bit of comfort, right?
So that's the thing. So they're going to be a little bit stressed about that. Of course, Berries, though, now all he needs to do is have a really fast second track. I think we are ready, though. I hear we are heading to Kenya. So they're ready to go. Let's see how this goes down. It's now time for our second track. We're racing in Kenya. Very different to what you just saw. Finland was very wide, very open, very long. Kenya, very short. Lots of tight turns, very narrow. Kind of deceiving as well because it looks very open, but it's really not.
Yeah, it almost feels flat, but the jumps just come up, and if you overcook one turn and you go wide, you pick up those time penalties. 1 second to go, and it's our grand final stage for the PS4 guys to decide who is the Toyota eSports Challenge victor in WRC 9. And a good start coming out from Ryan again. We saw him dominate Finland, and he does not want to walk away here empty-handed.
You can see there he gets that first jump off really well. Michael's got to know, Mr. 0 to turbo, that he's got to put foot, he's got to accelerate, which is a problem because sometimes they can force you to make silly mistakes. Berries is handling this just fine, and you can see he's starting to make a little bit of a gap between him and the other three, but it's very close right now. They're all feeling it. They know this is their last opportunity. But so far, Berries is keeping his lead.
Berries doing very good up at the front. Michael struggling a little bit to hold on. Ethan here is going to be battling out against the likes of Riyasat up at the back, but those two just want the 2 drivers in front to make a big mistake, almost DNF the stage, but it doesn't look to be this way, so I feel like the stage will be down to Berries and 0 to turbo. Ryan and Michael battling it out, and of course Ryan a little bit more experience coming into this sort of thing, so he's kind of showing that experience here, pulling a bit of a gap in the final round.
Oh, is he gonna, Michael? I thought he was gonna save that. He spins out. That's penalties. That means he's gonna have that additional time added on there. Just couldn't control the back end.
Look at that, 15 seconds behind, or 11 seconds. Sorry, I misread that coming out. So Ryan is going to see that he's got a bit of a gap coming out. Don't think that's going to slow him down though. Of course, you want to get the best time and then compare that out to all the other competitors on the different platforms that race out and see, where you stage against everybody else. So Ryan still fighting out. They come now under the flyover bridge, and Michael this time around looking very convincing coming underneath there. Ryan needs to just make sure he gets through this game.
Beautiful smooth lines. He is clean at the moment. He takes that bump a little bit and it doesn't really affect him, but I think that for me, what's beautiful about Ryan is you can see he's really thought about how he wants to race this track, and he sees those lines. And as I say that, look at this, Ethan and Riyasat fighting it out in the back here.
Oh, so Riyasat there just misses the braking zone completely. Ethan there gets it nicely, And Restart going to pick up that time penalty for having to reset. Ryan here into the closing rounds of the final stage. And it does not look like he's being caught. 16 seconds behind is Michael.
Here it is. We're about to see our Victor. This is it. And oh, I actually thought he wasn't going to go through the finish there. That is it. Berries with a convincing leap through. And now it's all about chasing down that time to make sure you can finish. But I think Berries might have done enough.
Yeah, I think if you add them all up, I think Ryan's times there are going to take the overall victory. I think he's looking eagerly at the timing board below to check where he stacked up. Rierstad and Ethan still might be able to finish this out. Zenons might actually finish ahead of Michael here. I don't think he did, but down to those time penalties, we'll have to see how it finishes up. And it isn't going to be that way. Berries takes the victory. Mr. Zero to Turbo Michael in second place there. And then Zenons finishes ahead of Rierstad.
Berries though, what a race. Both of those tracks, you could just see the experience, you could see the practice. You called it, G. He is our Toyota eSports Challenge PlayStation winner.
You know, I've seen him in the lobbies. He's so quick in everything that he races in, so he's going to be chuffed with that. But for Michael, coming in as a journalist, facing up against someone like Berries, I think it was a good performance. Kept him honest up the front. And for our other two competitors, they can always go back and say that they were racing on controllers and the other guys were on wheels, and it makes a difference.
There we go. Use that as an excuse. We got you. Rierstad, you're already a FIFA champ. You didn't need this, dude. You're okay. I do actually think that we have a chance to chat to our winner. Berries is with us now. So we're going to find out exactly how he feels after winning that 15,000 Rand. Berries, Toyota eSports Challenge PlayStation winner, 15,000 Rand in your back pocket. How much did you practice those tracks though? Because the lines that you used, it looked like you put a lot of thought into exactly how you wanted to race these races.
Thanks guys. Yeah, with practice I managed to put in maybe 2-3 hours a week until it came to the finals day, and then when it came to the finals I just knew that I had to pump in the time. So I probably put in 4 hours a day for about 4 days, make sure that I got the stages perfect. And yeah, it came together nicely. I managed to put together good stages. Didn't have any issues, luckily. So yeah, it went better than I could have expected. So yeah.
Ryan, just give us a little bit of an insight into what you might be spending this prize money on.
In terms of the prize money, I'm not too sure on what I'm going to spend it on yet. I haven't fully decided yet, but I think a big thing that I want to spend the money on is most likely a gaming PC. I do want to consider moving into the PC side of things, so we'll see if I can maybe do that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with the money if I don't spend it on that.
Something I'd be interested to know is how much of the car did you tweak? Because this is something that's really cool about WRC9 is that you can tweak your car, you can change some settings. Did you do any customization to your Yaris, or did you just play it as is?
The setups, that was a difficult one for me. If I had more time, I might have been able to get the setups right, but otherwise, the thing is, when I was practicing in those qualification stages, I started fiddling with the setups, and the more I fiddled, the slower I got. So I ended up just setting it back to the default settings, and I just ended up rolling with that. So when it came to the finals, I was on totally default. I had no setup changes. The only thing that I kind of regret is with the Finland stage especially, I probably should have increased the gear ratios a bit because I was maxing out in 6th gear a few times throughout the stage. So I think maybe 1 or 2 clicks longer on the gears and I would have been a bit better. So otherwise it would have only cost me maybe a second or two, so it's not too bad.
I mean, I've seen you competing a lot on the PS4 side. Is there any chance that you want to come over and compete on the PC side of things?
Yeah, so I've been on PS4 for 2 years now. I've been competing there. I love it. I really do enjoy the competition. The guys here are so nice. But yeah, I do want to be able to compete against the likes of Charles, Ulrich, Jason and Bruno. I mean, I've been watching them for the last year in the various competitions that have been going on, and I do want to join in on them. So I think it's definitely a good possibility that I'm going to move to PC. I'm definitely going to keep my PlayStation to the side, and I'll probably compete on both PlayStation and PC. But yeah, I do want to get across to PC, and that's probably my next goal, is to be able to compete against the best guys in the country and see how I can fare up against them.
He's a PC Master Race guy. There you go. Berries, congratulations, our Toyota eSports Challenge winner. Thank you for giving us such an incredible 2 races to watch, and enjoy that cash. We hope to see you racing soon.
Thanks, guys.
And there you have it, G, another champion, another fantastic finish. And I can't believe this is the penultimate race. We've only got one left.
Only one left, and there was one thing that you forgot to mention was more cash dollar.
More cash dollar is gone. We're left with 15, that's 60,000 Rand. We've handed it all out, 15,000 Rand left, courtesy of Toyota. And that's going to go tomorrow to our pro sim racers who we got to see for 4 weeks racing against the Toyota Gazoo rally races. So tomorrow is going to be quick fast. That is the best way to describe it. It's going to be super fast. It's going to be super competitive, and it's going to be a fantastic way to end off such a fun few weeks.
Yeah, big one for me tomorrow. Can't wait for the grand final there. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.